Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered if the wars happening today could be the beginning of the end of the world? Many people believe that what we are witnessing right now is not just ordinary conflict, but signs of something much bigger. But the real question is, what is the fact and what is just theory? The world today is in a very tense situation. Conflicts are happening in different regions, especially in the Middle East. And some analysts believe that if these conflicts continue to grow, they could eventually lead to a global war. There are also discussions about powerful nations getting involved, which could divide the world into two major sides, often described as East and West. However, it is important to remember that these are still theories and not confirmed realities. One of the most feared possibilities is nuclear war. If nuclear weapons are ever used on a large scale, the destruction could be unimaginable. Entire cities could be wiped out, the air could become toxic, and agriculture could collapse. This would likely lead to mass famine, deadly diseases, and a complete breakdown of society. Some people even believe that humanity could be forced to return to a much more primitive way of life. Another idea suggests that the world could split into two major powers, Eastern nations and Western nations, leading to a large-scale war between them. But history has shown us that not every predicted war actually happens the way people expect. This is why it is very important to separate facts from speculation and avoid jumping to conclusions. From an Islamic perspective, there are known signs of the end times, including the appearance of Al-Mahdi, the return of Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, and the trial of the Dajjal. However, Islamic scholars always remind US not to rush into conclusions and not to link every global event directly to these signs without clear and authentic evidence, because only Allah truly knows when and how these events will occur. In conclusion, the world is facing serious challenges today, but the future is still unknown. The real question remains, is the world truly coming to an end? Or is it simply fear and speculation? Right now, as you are watching this video, there are wars happening in different parts of the world. Explosions, airstrikes, and military operations are not just scenes from movies. They are real events affecting millions of lives every single day. But the question is, where is all of this heading? In recent times, global tensions have been rising rapidly. Conflicts in different regions, especially in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, have drawn the attention of the entire world. Powerful nations are watching closely and, in some cases, getting involved directly or indirectly. Some countries provide weapons, others provide intelligence, and some try to act as mediators. But despite these efforts, the situation often becomes more complicated instead of calming down. Modern warfare is very different from the wars of the past. Today, battles are not only fought on the ground, but also in the air, in cyberspace, and even through economic pressure. Drones, advanced missiles, and surveillance systems have changed the way wars are fought. This means that conflicts can escalate very quickly. A single mistake, a single miscalculation, could turn a regional conflict into something much bigger. Another important factor is alliances. Many countries are part of military or political alliances, which means if one country is attacked, others may step in to support it. This creates a chain reaction that can expand a conflict beyond its original borders. At the same time, there is a constant flow of information and misinformation. Social media spreads news instantly, but not all of it is accurate. This can increase fear, confusion, and even tension between nations and people. Economically, wars have a huge impact on the world. Oil prices can rise, food supplies can be disrupted, and global trade can slow down. Even countries far from the fighting can feel the effects in their daily lives through higher prices and shortages. For ordinary people living in conflict zones, the situation is much more serious. Families are forced to leave their homes, cities are damaged, and basic needs like food, water, and healthcare become difficult to access. Children grow up in fear, and entire generations can be affected by the consequences of war. This is the human side of conflict that is often forgotten when we only focus on politics and military strategies. Some analysts believe that if current tensions continue to grow, the world could move closer to a larger global conflict. Others believe that diplomacy and international pressure will eventually reduce the tensions. History has shown us both possibilities. There have been times when conflicts escalated into global wars, and there have also been times when they were contained and resolved. From an Islamic perspective, times of fitna and conflict are not new. History has seen many periods of hardship, and these moments remind people of the importance of patience, unity, and reliance on Allah. As we look at the current state of the world, it is important to stay informed but also to stay balanced. Not everything we see or hear is completely accurate, and fear should not control our thinking. Instead, we should focus on understanding the situation, supporting those in need, and making dua for peace and stability in the world. Because at the end of the day, behind every headline, there are real people, real families, and real lives being affected. So the question remains, where is all of this heading? Is the world moving towards a larger conflict? Or will these tensions eventually calm down? The conflict between the United States, Iran, and Israel is one of the most serious tensions in the world today. Many people ask, who truly benefits and who suffers the most? When you look at it deeply, the answer is not simple, because every conflict contains a mix of gains and losses. First, it is important to understand that civilians are the ones who suffer the most. Wherever conflict occurs, ordinary people lose their homes, their lives, and their sense of stability. Children, women, and the elderly are the most vulnerable, facing displacement, hunger, and constant fear. The economies of affected countries are also damaged, leading to unemployment and harsh living conditions. In the case of Iran, the country faces heavy economic sanctions that significantly impact both the government and the population. Inflation rises, the currency loses value, and people experience worsening living conditions. Although Iran tries to project military strength and regional influence, the economic pressure is undeniable. Israel, despite having strong military power and international support, is not free from challenges. Ongoing security threats, the risk of attacks, and international political pressure affects both society and the government. High military spending also places a burden on its economy. The United States, which plays a major role in this conflict, faces enormous costs in terms of military support and overseas operations. Its political reputation is sometimes affected, especially when criticized for involvement in foreign conflicts. Even as a global power, such conflicts bring both economic and political strain. However, there are certain groups that benefit from situations of conflict. The arms industry is one of the biggest winners, as war increases the demand for weapons and military equipment, from rising oil prices during periods of tension. In addition, global powers such as Russia and China may gain opportunities to expand their political and economic influence while the United States is occupied with other conflicts. In conclusion, the conflict between the United States, Iran, and Israel has no clear winner. While some may gain temporary advantages, the overall losses outweigh the benefits. Civilians bear the greatest burden, while governments and certain industries gain limited and often short-term advantages. Ultimately, conflict tends to bring destruction, suffering, and instability rather than lasting solutions. What does the world think about this conflict? The world today is in a very sensitive and tense situation, and this conflict has become a major topic of global discussion. When looking at international perspectives, there is no single unified opinion. Instead, there are many different views shaped by political interests, economic goals, and security concerns. Some countries and political analysts see this conflict as part of a larger power struggle between major global forces. In their view, wars like this are sometimes used to demonstrate strength, protect national interests, or limit the influence of rivals. This perspective suggests that the conflict is not only about the parties directly involved, but also about wider global dynamics. On the other hand, many people see the conflict as an issue of self-defense and national security. They believe that every country has the right to defend itself when it feels threatened. From this point of view, military actions may be considered necessary to protect sovereignty and ensure safety. However, one point that most of the world agrees on is that civilians suffer the most. Wars destroy homes, separate families, and force people to flee their communities. Children, women, and vulnerable groups often face the harshest consequences, including hunger, poor health conditions, and lack of education. International organizations, such as the United Nations and Amnesty International, frequently express concern about the humanitarian impact of conflicts. They call for ceasefires, respect for human rights, and peaceful negotiations to end violence. Global media and social platforms also play a major role in shaping public opinion. News reports, images, and videos influence how people understand the conflict, sometimes generating support or criticism toward different sides. However, information is not always balanced, which can lead to misunderstanding or biased views. In the end, most people around the world hope for peace and stability. Many are tired of ongoing conflicts and want lasting solutions that can prevent future wars. Despite the differences in opinion, there is a shared desire to reduce suffering and create a more peaceful world.